Okay, Bridge Kids International, welcome to How to Fill Out the Bridge Kids International Bridge Kids Group Monthly Financial Report. This is Stacy. I'm here to go over this together so that we can improve our monthly reporting. So this is the new form, relatively new or updated form that we're going to be using to do our monthly reporting of any project that has any kind of financial implications. So if it's, of course, an economic development project, that's a business, we definitely want to do this monthly. And it really benefits us as well as you because you really need to be keeping really good financial records of your business. And then even if it's a project that is taking in money, say the school in Ghana, even though it's not just a business or economic development project, you're going to want to keep track of all your income and expenses as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Now the figures that I'm using, this is just an example. They're not real, but it should hopefully be helpful in demonstrating what we're talking about. So say, for instance, this is the Bridge Kids group in Kenya. Hello, and that the month of our activities are September 2019, okay? So this is from September 1st to September 30th, okay? And we're gonna be doing this in your local currency and in US dollars so that it's helpful for both of us. So say, for example, you started out at the beginning of the month with $100 in the bank or $100, in that you have on hand. That's your opening balance, all right? And so that would be 10,380 Kenya shillings. It's pretty easy to do the currency conversion. At the end of this, I'll show you, how I did that online, just in case you're not familiar with that. Okay, so then monthly income. So this is the amount of money that you brought in that month. And so this is something you'd fill out at the end of the month. So say in Kenya, they have sales and they have rentals. So you may want to break that down for sales and rentals, which may be really helpful for you to do. But just for the purposes of this, we're going to put it all together and say you earned $300. So that's 3,040 shillings. Okay. And now let's look at your expenses. And this is specifically for this month. So for personnel, that's staff. So any staff that you are paying regularly and you've hired them to work on a regular basis. In this instance, you're not paying staff per se. Okay, contracted services, that would be someone who's coming in to do like just a specific job. They're not necessarily your staff, but maybe they're someone with particular expertise or some service that you use, on maybe a regular basis or maybe not a regular basis. And so, like for you, you can decide if you have, say, security for your business or something that may be staff, personnel, or it may be contracted services. You could decide, or if you have someone to come in and do a special cleaning or offer a special consulting, you're consulting them on something. So, but for now, that's zero as well. So inventory, materials and supplies. Here's where we may get into some detail. So say, for instance, specifically with the Kenya project, if you have food, dry goods, you can see, dry goods, and all of this is, your inventory. Whatever you're buying, to replace your inventory. So say in this month, September, you spent $105. And then you wanted to separate out the drinks just to see how much, and it's up to you what you want to show or if you want to put it all together. Say you spent $65 on drinks, $67.47. Okay, and then say you wanted to add a few chairs or maybe a couple of chairs broke or something like that. And so you are adding, you purchased some more chairs. And so say that was, I don't know, you spent $30 on that. Okay, so the total that you spent for that month is going to be $200, okay, and whatever that is in Kenya shillings. Next thing is going to be rent, okay? So for rent, say if it's, say, $25, okay, per month. Okay, and then you want to bring that number down, okay, where it says total. I don't have any formulas particularly on this form, again, because you may want to customize it for you. But it's when we go to add things up, we're looking at this total line, total rent utilities, total contracted services, total, you see, with this one that we add up. Okay, the next category is equipment. And in this particular case, like if we were going to buy a stove or something, this is something that you're holding on to for a long time. It's not something that's going to be sold or rented. That's what it would be. But for this month, we didn't have anything. Okay, nothing there. So printing and postage, say if you decided you were going to create some flyers to market your business, and say you spent $10 on that, which would be 1038. Okay, so you have $10 total for that month, right? And then other expenses, and here we're going to call this loss, okay? And this is just an example for the store, because I understand that that's one of the issues you're having. You're needing to sometimes go into your inventory to take maybe rice or gari, something out to feed folks. And so that's going to be a loss, to your business, and you want to account for that, okay? So again, you want to account for that. And so all of that, on all of these total lines of all of your expenses, you're going to add up, okay? Don't forget the first page, all of these, right? Yes, okay. So that comes up to a total of $245 in expenses. It's your total monthly expenses for this month. All right, so now your monthly balance just for the month is, okay, the monthly income, what you bought in that month, minus your expenses. Okay, so your monthly balance here is your monthly income minus your monthly expenses. So in our case, that is going to be $300, right? That was our monthly income. Where is that? Right? Up here on the first sheet, minus our monthly expenses, the $245, which is going to give us a balance of $55. Okay. All right. And then your closing balance. So this means you have $55 left in your account or on hand at the end of the month. You started out, okay, with $100. Okay. And now at the end of this month, at the beginning of September, there was $100 on hand. And now at the end of September, you're adding an extra $55 to that, okay? So your closing balance is your opening balance plus your monthly balance. So you're at $155. What that means is for the month of October, this $155 rather, when you fill this out the next month, that's your opening balance, because that's what you had on hand at September 30th, October 1st. That's what you start out with. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you was I mentioned currency converter, and so all I did was look this up online. I just typed in currency converter, and I put in the currency that I wanted. I have the US dollar, and then I chose the Kenya shilling, right? So this is the value of $1 is 103.80 Kenya shillings. If I want to look up how much $50 is, that's going to tell me. And then you can go do the other way too, okay? All right, so you can start out with Kenya shillings and go to US dollars. Okay, makes sense? All right, I think, and so then what we want to say about the form is that this will be due on the 15th of the month following the month. So if this is for September 2019, this is going to be due to Felix on October 15th. Okay, so you'll have 2 weeks to sort of get all your receipts together, and you should be holding on to your receipts. All right. And so you want to pull all that together, give yourself a couple of weeks to do all of your accounting, and then send this in. And the reason it's important is, first of all, we need to keep track of how we're doing, how you're doing, how the money's being spent as we record it and as we report it to the board and to others who are asking. But the other thing is that we really want to have a much better, do a much better job of tracking for all of us. So this way, it's a way for us to know how you're doing. If at the end of the month you're having, funds left over, and as your monthly balance and your closing balance is growing, that's great. Then we know how you're doing. If you're having some trouble with that, then we can put our heads together and figure out how to get you to the next level so these numbers are positive. They may end up being negative, okay? And that happens. That's real life. But we can work together and figure out how to turn it around. So thank you all, and I hope you found this useful. Let me know if you have any suggestions on how we might change and improve the form. Take care. Bye-bye.